If you're here from part 1 of 2 of the Whole Brain Child Summary by authors Daniel J. Siegel and Payne Bryson, welcome, let's waste no time. Otherwise, click on the card above or see the description box below for a link to part 1 of 2, and we'll see you back here in around 10 minutes, hopefully. Now, where were we? Oh yes, integrating the many parts of the self. For this next part, let's start with the definition of the term Mindsight. The simplest meaning of the word comes down to 2 things: having a clear understanding of our own mind, as well as understanding the mind of another. But right now, we're just going to focus on the first half, which is where mental health and well-being begin. To help your child become more aware of their mind and the many parts of herself, one can use the Wheel of Awareness model. Basically, our mind can be pictured as a bicycle wheel, with our decision-making prefrontal cortex at the hub, and a list of things we can pay attention to or become aware of as the rim. These include things such as thoughts and feelings, our dreams and desires, our memories, our perceptions of the outside world, and the sensations from our body. Kids may sometimes get stuck on one particular point on the Wheel of Awareness, though, like getting straight A's, their fear of losing, their weight, getting that guy to like them, getting 10,000 subscribers, etc. This usually stops other facets of their personalities from developing, creates inflexibility, limits potential in other areas, and can be unhealthy. I mean, a kid with straight A's is great, but not when they don't have any friends, hobbies, or interests. And so, here are 3 strategies to make your child more aware of herself and to constantly refocus her attention. Whole brain strategy number 8. Let the clouds of emotion roll by. To help your child become unstuck from a rim point that's limiting them, remind your child that feelings are just temporary states, not enduring traits. Teach them that feelings come and go and they won't feel lonely forever, for example. Encourage them to use the words "I feel" rather than "I am" when describing how they feel in order to avoid the risk of them defining themselves based on a temporary experience. Whole brain strategy number 9. SIFT. Help your child pay attention to the sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts within them. Recognizing these is the first step to understanding oneself and taking control. Sensations you can help your child recognize, for example, could be those butterflies your child feels in their stomach. Those could be recognized as markers of anxiety. Images can be from memories of an embarrassing moment to images from a scary dream. Becoming aware of these images will give the child more control over them and diminishes the power they have over her. When you ask your child how they're feeling, help them go from vague descriptions like fine and bad to more precise ones like excited and disappointed. Children don't yet recognize that there's a full spectrum of emotions within them that they can explore. Use these words in everyday life before your child can even talk so that it becomes part of their vocabulary. As for thoughts, they come more from our left brain. When a child is more aware of them, they can choose which ones to believe. They can argue with ideas that aren't helpful or healthy, and through self-talk, direct their attention away from rim points that are limiting them towards ones that lead to growth and happiness. Whole brain strategy number 10. Exercise Mindsight. Teach your child about the Wheel of Awareness and use it whenever the need arises. Is your child focusing too much on any anxiety-inducing rim point? Use it. The authors use a good example of a boy who's afraid of his ceiling fan at night. Once his parents explained the Wheel of Awareness to him, he was able to identify that he was stuck on a rim point. From there, he could recognize the sensations in his body creeping up on him that signaled fear, such as the tension in his limbs, and could refocus his attention on something that would relax him until finally he could integrate the different parts of himself and think about other rim points. There are different ways to explain the concept of the Wheel of Awareness. One can show their child how there are so many sounds around them, but they choose to only focus on 1 or 2. The same can be said about our thoughts, feelings, memories, etc. Use whatever analogy you think your child will understand. Other mindset exercises include breathing and visualization techniques for when your child is nervous about the school play, for example. These exercises don't always have to be for anxiety. It can even work to manage anger in older children. Through Mindsight exercises, your child can see that they don't have to be victims of the sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts within them. They can decide how to think and feel about their experiences. Introduce your child to Mindsight exercises that help bring them back to the hub of the wheel, which will help them become more focused and centered. Integrating self and other. Remember the definition of Mindsight? Well, now we're going to focus on the second half, understanding the mind of another. Up until now, the focus has been on how to help develop your child's whole brain in order to develop a strong and resilient sense of me. But kids need just as much help understanding what it means to become a part of a we. Happiness and fulfillment result from being connected to others while still maintaining a unique identity. That's what Mindsight is about. The great thing is, even kids who don't seem predisposed to connection and compassion can learn what it means to be in a relationship and fulfill the responsibilities that come with it. That's because our brain has a built-in capacity for social interactions. It's hardwired to take signals from the social environment and influence a person's inner world. Take mirror neurons, for example. They allow us to not only unintentionally imitate others' behaviors, but actually resonate with their feelings. We are wired to be we. So it's important to capitalize on this trait of the human brain and create positive mental models of the relationships for your children. Here are the last two strategies for this. Whole brain strategy number 11. Increase the family fun factor. Enjoy each other. Make family life fun through playful parenting. I have videos on that as well as how to connect with your child on my channel. Again, please see the description box for the links to get some great ideas after this. Basically, show your kids that being with other people is enjoyable and pleasing. The kinds of relationships they experience now will lay the groundwork for how they relate to others for the rest of their lives. And finally, whole brain strategy number 12, connect through conflict. Instead of an obstacle to avoid, view conflict as an opportunity to teach your children essential relationship skills, like seeing other people's perspectives, reading nonverbal cues, and making amends. Teach them to feel empathy and to argue with a we in mind. And teach them Mindsight skills like sharing, forgiveness, sacrifice, and listening. The point is that you help your child demonstrate acts of love and remorse that show they've thought about the other person's feelings and want to find a way to repair the rupture in the relationship. It might help to bring up the "if it were you" question. By doing this, we will help our children develop Mindsight. And that brings us to the end of all 12 strategies. I hope now we can realize that in order to help our children thrive and be happy, healthy, whole brain children, it doesn't just have to be through obvious teachable moments, but also through difficult challenges and even during the everyday nothing's really happening times. We don't just have to survive now. We can walk away from this video with the knowledge and confidence to help our children thrive and build a closer relationship with them as well. I hope you benefited from this video. As you can see, there's a lot of information to cover and some of it can be dense. I highly suggest you buy the book to go over these points in more detail with examples and more in-depth explanations. The book also has a section at the end of every chapter that you can read to your kids, as well as a section for us parents on how we can apply all these strategies to ourselves. It really helps, actually. You can find a link to buy the book in the description box below. It is an affiliate link, but I've used some of these strategies on my own kids and others, and the effects can be quite profound. I really want you to understand the points so that you can have a go at it yourselves and tell me all about it in the comments. I do enjoy reading your comments. Also, I'm feeling very passionate these days about improving people's lives with respect to their relationships. I believe better relationships is the key to true happiness. Help me make this happen. Share these videos, comment, like, subscribe. Let's grow together.